Evening, everyone. Welcome to another Traffic Talk special match review. And on the YouTube and Twitter, we're live as always. And, well, here we are. 67 days since Manchester United last lost in the Premier League. And tonight, it happened again for the fourth time this season. And it's the fourth time at home as well that we've been beaten at Old Trafford. Sheffield United beat them 2-1 tonight. And it was in some method controversial as well as incredibly poor. A lot of, not just us three, but a lot of United fans tonight are absolutely dumbfounded and frustrated by the outcome of this evening's game. More or less, not just for the performance, but also for the fact that this was against the bottom of the table team. For the second year in a row, United lost to the bottom team in the Premier League. Last year, it was Watford at Vicarage Road by 2-1 in what was, in all honesty, a similarly poor display away from home. Tonight was the exact same thing. But what is worse is that was the opportunity for United to respond to Manchester City's 5-0 win last night, and they simply could not take it. So, enough from me. I am going to introduce now Kai and Mehdi to voice their opinions one by one, because while I'm measurably disappointed, I am not as, at the moment, not as angry as these two are. So, gentlemen, please, the floor is yours.
What can you say? We should never have lost that game. Performance was awful. I know the first goal for them shouldn't have counted because it was a foul, but even though they got the goal, we still did not play anywhere near how we should be. It was awful from start to finish. Like, there was no passion. Like, no one wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck. It was just poor all round. And to lose to Sheffield United, the worst team in the history of the Prem, is embarrassing. I would rather have lost to I don't mind losing to a good team, but to lose to Sheffield United, bottom of the league, it's not good. It's not good enough. And that just goes to show, obviously, we're not title contenders, because if that was Man City, that would have been 5-0, 6-0. But it's going to show we're not at that level just yet.
Yeah, pretty much summed it up. I just think, I don't want to be reactionary, but I haven't, obviously I've been new to this channel, but I've never really said Ollie out. I have been Ollie out, and I don't want to spread negative thoughts right now. Obviously we're on a good run, but people need to realize he's not what people want him to be. Obviously, we all want him to succeed. He's a club legend. I want him to do well, but we have to be realistic now. We're Man United. We should be hiring good managers. He has bottled 4 semi-finals. He's bottled the Champions League for us. The only thing that he's brought that's good to the club, he's got rid of some deadwood. He's brought in happiness to the club. He's made the players run a bit more. Is that good enough for us? No, we're losing against a team that had more injuries than points. Let's just get that in. They had more injuries than points. This is I was at the Burnley game when we lost 2-0 at home. For me, this is worse.
I agree.
We struggle to create barely any chances, and I don't understand how, when you have Pogba, Rashford, Bruno, Martial, all these players on the pitch, and we're struggling to create. Yes, the players have to take responsibility. Comes down to their mentality as well. But the way the team set out, like the defender for the second goal is absolutely shocking. You won't even see that in Sunday League. He's got the ball in the first passenger play. He's got the ball, takes time, takes a shot. Then in the second one, it's straight back to him. No one's pressing it. As soon as he gets the ball, you hear in Sunday League on his touch. Why is that not happening? It's shocking. And I don't understand why this is happening. We go on a run like that and we just lose to Sheffield United. They're last in the Premier League.
It's awful. Awful defeat. And I think the second goal summed it up nicely, because this is after we've just got back in the game from a corner. And frankly, I was absolutely convinced that we would, we'd start to, pull our socks up, get at them a bit more. We know they were playing that low block. We know that they would never, ever want to come out unless they knew they could get something on the break. And it evidently showed, because what disappointed me the most, and I just popped up that comment from Shorty C just now, is that Martial needs to be benched for the rest of the season. That's his opinion. I feel like he does need time off the team, because his role in the second goal was just the most absolutely inexcusable way you could defend a goal for an attacker. He's laboring back to our box, and there's no urgency for him to press the man on the ball or even try and get show any ambition to win it back. I do also think David De Gea has not covered himself in glory there, because he's got a man in front of him, yes, but he should also try to kick that into Rose rather than play it short to the first pink shirt he saw in front of him. We're not playing in pink anymore, so I don't see how he could confuse that. But at the same time, he should have just been, thinking one motion only to send that ball into Rose, never see that come back, and then I could have been set to deal with the next attack rather than have to see that tomfoolery in the penalty area. It wasn't good, and it's a prime example as to why these sorts of situations we get ourselves into on the pitch, and we constantly shoot ourselves in the foot, are always going to be our downfall. So, gentlemen, I think we've got to start considering Anthony's position in the team, because he has not been in form for a long time now. Every chance he's had, he's not been able to take it. He hasn't been as consistent as we would like him to be. By this time last season, he was on 12 goals, so he had already doubled his. He already gone above double figures, but it is absolutely just not excusable for him to continue these performances. I don't know what else I can say here, but he's definitely one that has to take the blame for the overall performance tonight.
Yep, I agree. I like Martial, but he's had so many chances now. I think it's time for him to go to the bench. Cavani needs to be starting majority of games, and I think in the summer we need to go and get another striker. I believe we need to go and get a top striker, someone that can score 30 goals a season. Because Martial, he had, of course, last season he had his best tally ever, but he should be kicking on the season, getting even more. But he's gone backwards, and he gives the ball away. When he gives the ball away, he doesn't run back. He just puts his hands in the air like he doesn't really care, and he has that kind of attitude. So, but for some reason, Solskjaer loves him. He starts him all the time. So I don't know if he's seeing something in the training or something. But from the matches he's been playing this season, he's got 2 goals in the Prem all season. That ain't good enough for a Man United forward. No, it's not.
Man, did you have the same opinion as me and Kai here regarding Martial? Because he's been off colour, and in no way is he the same player that we saw last season, bossing it against any opposition, scoring for fun, high on confidence. He's not doing the number 9 shirt any justice this season, however.
Yeah, you know what? Today was like the Martial in the Mourinho days, where he'd lose the ball, he wouldn't even try win it back, he'd just sulk. And it's becoming hard for me to back him because he's one of my favourite players, but it's getting to that point where I think we should sell him. I think he's got a couple more games to prove himself, otherwise we have to sell him. I want Haaland. I don't care if his agent's Mina Raiola. Do a swap deal. Haaland's a proper goal scorer, proper number 9, and him and Cavani can rotate between them, because Martial at the moment he's given us nothing. He's not even playing in sort of patches where we could say, he's picking up form here and there, but he's not. I think overall the whole team, except for Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the only man that can hold his head up. Everyone there was poor. Pogba maybe as well, but Bruno was shocking. I'm sorry, I love Bruno so much, but he was shocking today. Some of the passes, he was either overhitting them or underhitting them. I don't know what's going on with this team. I don't know how we can go on a run like that and the play they don't perform. And this is a big game for them. Obviously, we had to capitalize on City. They won 5-0, so we had to win this game to keep the pressure on them. And we lose to Sheffield United. Everyone in the team was poor.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Set pieces, the first goal we conceded. Yeah, it probably was a foul on De Gea,
but still, he's got to be stronger, and someone's got to take lead.
The guy that won the header, I'm pretty sure he's the same height as me.
Yeah,
and I'm
he's
like
small.
8 or something. That is shocking. I don't know how the amount of players we had on the pitch. We had Tuanzebe, Pogba,
Maguire,
Maguire.
They're all tall players.
Martial, Telles, all these players. I don't know how you're losing the header. It happened Southampton. I don't know. Yep. Set pieces, we need to work on them. But once again,
big time.
Start defending. That's the problem.
Absolutely. I cried out last season defense is the most essential thing to us being much better this season in our hopes of being in that top 4 or further than that. And it demonstrated tonight we lacked, again, a commanding figure alongside Harry Maguire, because Maguire is one man, and yeah, he did score, but it ultimately meant nothing because in his overall performance didn't warrant the fact that he's scoring a goal would have made a difference in the game. If it ends 1-1, then we'll say, okay, he scored, he helped United hold out Sheffield United, stop them from getting anything else. We are fine, but no, it didn't go that way, and he will have to, like everyone else, as Mehdi says, take the blame for tonight's defeat. I also think, again, I know, Mehdi, you are staunch on Ollie not being manager. I'm a bit the opposite, but in my opinion, he does have to be criticised for decisions he makes. He does have to be put under the limelight for mistakes he's made, and I'm not afraid to do that because I support the club and the shirt that is worn by the players that represent us on the pitch. The manager must also have that same passion, that same desire. And I saw a version of Ollie tonight that didn't represent for me what I wanted from the team on the pitch. The Solskjaer early this season was on for a little while after the Everton game when he said we wouldn't lose again after the shambles with kickoff times and everything. That really buggered him and saw Luke Shaw go off for a little bit. That was the Ollie I wanted to see. Get out and show some grit. So now he didn't show any of that in either his interviews or on the touchline. It really worried me. And it shows that he's not able to, at times, comprehend the severity of what we were dealing with. This is the same, almost not the same team exactly, because there were numerous injuries for them and issues that they had. There were too many players out, so they were practically playing with the bare minimum they had in the squad. The fact that they've turned up with 17 players at Old Trafford is a remarkable achievement, and obviously we credit them for giving it a right old go and getting the result they needed. But we are fans that demand excellence, and we demand more than just mediocre performances. And the manager tonight will take the blame for letting the team be playing that way, not giving them the correct sort of motive, not giving them motivation or reason to kick on from Sunday, because you beat the best team in the land. And by even, albeit conceding 2 goals, you still beat them, knocked them out of the cup. You got a 0-0 draw against them on the Sunday before, so you can take them on. But when it comes up to being against that same problem we had for years now, the low block in front of the 18-yard box, constantly, covering the passing lanes, the spaces which players can break into to feed in the ball inside the 18-yard box, so we can win penalties or get chances from inside the area. All of those just seem to be out of trouble for us when we play against teams like Sheffield United. And Ollie tonight, I think, did not prepare for that correctly by obviously either sheer luck or the fact he did not have the correct personnel on the field. We did say Matic and Pogba the other day would have been a smart choice. It evidently showed tonight was not the idea, because there was a lot of slow. I think the lack of pace in the game
too much time on the ball, man. Matic takes too many touches sometimes. Takes like 5-6 touches before he passes it. Very slow. I like him, but I think we need someone else in there. Someone quicker. Someone like a defensive midfielder that's going to pass the ball quickly.
Someone that rotates the ball out of our defence and moves it up. I cried out for that last season, believe it or not, when we were all focused on Dortmund versus United and the Sancho saga. I said, hang on a second. You waste all your time negotiating on one player, but you could easily just go out and get another target in another position and then just deal with the right wing area later on, or just put Greenwood out there for the season instead of just put pressure on yourselves and forget about the priority. And that is dealing with being having a stronger spine in the team. I definitely think Man City's spine is not the best spine at the moment, minus Kevin De Bruyne. But somehow, That's it. Somehow, though, Pep still thinks of a way to get that team playing football the way he sees to do it. And it's the motivation at the fact that the team, that not only do they now have that advantage of being ahead of United, but they have that game in hand. He will encourage them even more against the same team that beat us tonight to do the same thing again. They'll do the same thing again on Saturday. The difference being they'll find more ways to break through that five-man defensive unit and the three that stood in front of them. Things that United can't do, City can. And the harsh reality is that's what is the difference between champions and top four contenders. Can't be lurking around against bottom-based opposition and letting them dictate the game the way they want to. You take it to them, or you will let yourself pay the penalty for it. In the end, it is what it is. We'll touch a bit more on the manager's ill decisions and mistakes there on, but I need to go back to the first goal because while it was a deserved loss, we do have to take into consideration that we were in some cases a little bit unlucky tonight. I won't say more than that because then it will be taken out of context. Then, knowing the world of social media and stuff like that, we'll look like idiots.
Of course.
So to review the first goal. It's a corner which I fear we would. If we concede a corner, we will be in trouble because every time teams play against us with very tall players in their squad, the one idea they have is to squash everyone inside the 6-yard area right under the crossbar, because the only way they can score a goal against us from set pieces is if they don't give us space to defend the corner. And that, unfortunately, is just not good enough. It's why I think, even though tonight wasn't tonight didn't look like the sort of game he should have played, McTominay would have been equally important playing in that role with Matic instead of Pogba, because those two would just deal with the aerial matters in the penalty area. 3 of them would have stopped at least the 4, even though they are our numbers, the 4 attackers for Sheffield United from the corner. The delivery is very good, and it's right under David De Gea, but the poor fella, he's trying to be stronger and commanding inside his 6-yard box. He gets pushed from behind. He gets pushed from behind by Billy Sharp. And somehow, I'm surprised that when we talked about coffee breaks and the VAR officials take, they seem to be on another one tonight for some reason, because they've missed that absolute sitter of a decision. As soon as the ball lands in the back of the net, the referees know that obstruction is obstruction. De Gea, yes, he could have done better. He should have done better, actually, because Everton 2019 springs to mind when you think of him commanding a 6-yard area against Calvert-Lewin. Didn't get contact on the ball, was shoved, and then instantly the ball lands on the back of the net. That scenario should never have happened again after that game, but somehow it has again. So little mistakes that we've not learned from in the past keep creeping back into our game today. So even though we conceded a shoddy goal the way we did, do you guys think that was a foul, and should it have been disallowed by the VAR because it is in the back of the net? We can't have the referee blow up like the equaliser was. And we'll get on to the equaliser after. So I just want to hear your thoughts on the first one.
I think it was a foul because it obviously pushed him, but at the same time, De Gea should have been a bit more stronger, bit more commanding, and he could have dealt with it. Obviously, there was a little push in his back, but I feel he could have been a bit more commanding in that position. And obviously, defending corners is something we've struggled with for a while now. And teams obviously see a weakness, and obviously they're exposing us to the weaknesses, and that's one big weakness that's been there for a while. Obviously there needs to be more training done to kind of fix that problem, because it's been going on for a couple of years now.
Maddie?
For me, like I think I said it last time, VAR needs to be consistent. If they're giving that as a goal, then the Maguire one should be a goal. Maguire does nothing wrong, to be honest. He just stands there, and the De Gea one is more of a foul than the Maguire one. So if you're gonna give that as a goal, you have to give the Maguire one. But I don't think this should be used as an excuse for the performance, because regardless of that, then the goal would be taken away. But I think regardless of that, we still didn't play good enough.
Yeah, of course. Again, I'm not shying away from the overall result, but it brings back the point, and it's funny that that this happened tonight, because since Jurgen Klopp mentioned United's consistent decisions consistently going in their favour, and we've not had one. We've not had one go our way, and suddenly it looks like that sort of little a bonus we get from the little fouls in the edge of the area or penalties such as that we used to get when little things like the Douglas Luiz incident or something like that happened.
Yeah.
Those sorts of fouls are starting to just disappear from our remit. We're not able to take advantage of them anymore. And that for us is, that for me it's painful, but it means that, there's some influence Klopp had in the views of the referees because he feels, they must have felt top of the table side, close to challenging for the league. They've not had luck this season. He's complaining about United getting stuff. Maybe we should taper our decision a little bit to favour them a little more. And tonight, I'm not a conspiracy theorist in any way, but there could possibly have been some involvement with Klopp's comments leading up to something like that. My bias, maybe, but that could be a reason that we didn't get what we got this evening. And as Matthew, you mentioned, equaliser was almost less of a foul than the actual goal.
I don't understand it.
Exactly.
Which is strange. Maguire versus Burnley was a goal because he's stronger than Eric Peters, the left back. He jumps in. How was he meant to jump?
That's the only way you can jump. That's the only way you can jump to win the header.
On your side, and then you're expected to jump 5 or 6 feet into the air to try and reach for a header, which is probably the most outrageous thing you could do. I've never seen, I don't any of us have never seen someone jump that high with their arms by their side, not the ball away.
Possible, more or less.
You have no leverage to come down into yourself. So
Exactly.
you're asking him against the keeper when she's making an honest attempt to win the ball.
Exactly.
That's a foul. And then what's worse? Yeah, what's worse? Not only did the keeper drop it, referee blows a whistle before the ball hits the back of the net, meaning the VAR cannot check it, and we can't get a chance to see if we'll be given the goal or not. And it's signs of inconsistency. Maybe the referee was a little afraid of, the VAR getting his decision overturned, his original decision overturned. I haven't got a clue, but that might have been a reason for him blowing up so soon. Nevertheless, again, not shying away from the overall result, but there are factors in tonight's game that did not make sense in most avenues, and those two moments were definitely moments that we'll be reflecting on in the days to come before Saturday. But we'll go back now to Ollie's performance tonight, because again, he has a lot of the blame for the performance. He has a lot of cleaning up to do after this evening, because it's clear to see the players who he is trusted constantly, even though he chopped and changed a lot tonight with Tellers, Twanzebe, Matic, and Greenwood's Cavani, Martial starting. He made those changes, among others. It showed that he's still not able to have the players who get a chance in these games. They've not shown they are able to step up as much as we'd like them to. Twanzebe had a couple of good performances at the start of the season, particularly in Paris. Tellers as well. He's been good with assists from corners, etc. He's done well there. We've also had moments like those from those two have been okay, but then there's tonight, and then you take that into consideration, it becomes a problem for us fans. Can we trust the team players that are constantly left out to be able to consistently perform when we are on our backs or against the wall?
Exactly. This goes to show, obviously the players that come in, given a chance, they're not taking the chances. Tuanzebe didn't play the best today. Obviously, it was his deflection for the own goal, which was a bit unlucky, but there's a couple of shaky moments I saw from him. So it's looking like, obviously, players you bring in, you can't really trust them to perform. You need to get more, obviously, players with more quality, because obviously he has to change sometimes. He has to rotate at times. But obviously, when we rotate, things don't go well. Obviously, if Shaw had played today, I don't know if Bayer had played, who knows, could have been a different result. But yeah, it's just annoying that the fringe players that get a chance don't take it when it's a great chance for them to get in the first team.
Yeah. Mehdi, how about you?
I just think the team's too inconsistent at times. Even like against Fulham, where we won 2-1, not the whole team performed. That we won that game because of a Pogba world-class finish. Apart from that, it's just papering over the cracks. To be honest, the team's just, I don't know if it's their mentality or what it is. Like Twanzebe today, I like him. I think we have to give him the excuse of maybe it's match sharpness and he hasn't really played that consistently in the team. So maybe it's down to that, but it's the basics of defending. The guy gets the ball, you have to be on him. Like straight away, you can't give him the time, especially if he's in the penalty box. Apart from that, I think Telles wasn't good, and pretty much no one performed except for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, I think he's the only player who would get any credit this evening because he was a lot better than he was on Sunday. But he was good on the ball. He did tackle quite well.
Yeah.
Wasn't his fault. He had no involvement in either goal. But in any case, I think tonight was, he's unlucky to be part of the team that let the he was a really good part about our whole team that was let down because of that symbolic performance generally. And it's going to play on as fans. It will play on our minds a lot in the next 48 hours or so, because we have obviously losing. So that means we have gone behind City by a point, with them having a game in hand. So they've now got an advantage to work on. The thing is, though, that game is against Everton, who I think will have a game plan against City at home compared to when they had one away this season. I firmly believe that if Everton played as they did against us last season in I think it was the first game, Old Trafford, they really gave it a go on Duncan Ferguson that game. I think that showed me what they're capable of with current players as well, with Rodriguez, Doucouré, and co. These guys can certainly step up a little bit more against City, and I think a physical presence will surprise them in Calvert-Lewin. That's what I'm hoping for. But when that game comes down, we can only hope for the best. We can't do more than that, because the only way we'll get back to the top of the league now is if we are peerless and not lose again.
It's not on our hands anymore.
It's not on our hands anymore. We must not lose again, or we are affording more of an advantage to them. Because, again, I stand by what I say. I think we're not a title contending team. I think we're contending mainly not only to close that gap, which we've successfully closed right now on Liverpool. We now have the City gap to worry about, particularly with the fact they're now almost feeling quite a bit more confident. Plus, they have favourable games coming up in the league before they meet. I think they meet Liverpool and Tottenham in consecutive games before the Champions League comes around again. So they have a lot of different scenarios playing in their favour at the moment, with games coming up.
We should have won today.
Which is why winning tonight was essential in order to keep the pressure on City. Exactly. Now we have a problem. We have a big problem because tomorrow night Liverpool Tottenham meet at the toilet bowl. I'll say that here, and there's a bit of interest. There's an interesting look about it because with Liverpool lost last week, but now they will see this as an opportunity to one-up Mourinho again. For Tottenham, it's a chance to close the gap and maybe even overtake Liverpool, which would help us greatly. But we kind of need Mourinho to turn up tomorrow night.
I take a draw.
Yeah, we need the result, a positive result now, because if any Liverpool win will affect us in a bad way. They'll start getting momentum. They'll start looking to overtake.
We got Arsenal next.
Well, let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's talk about it, because I was about to come on to that, but I had to start thinking about the next possible remit for us to close the gap, because now we have a difficult situation. Arsenal, who have just found their feet again, having won last night against Southampton, and now have also played against the same team who lost in the FA Cup last week. This is a weird situation we're now in, because we're going to the Emirates on Saturday. It's a pivotal game in the context of a season. It will mean, for fans on social media, it will mean everything, because it will be one team one gets over the other. It just completely overshadows whatever happens on the pitch. But when we talk about the on-the-pitch matter, this is essential for Ollie to get this one right, because our next game is against Southampton and then Everton after that in the league. So we've got two difficult games following Arsenal, who are on a roll right now. We cannot afford to drop points again. This means now I think we will see Lindelof again, because Baye's injury, I'm hoping, isn't serious, but better safe than sorry in my opinion. Let him rest another game and bring him in next week when we play against Southampton. I also think we should take into consideration Martial's such scenario is just untenable at this point. He should not start on Saturday. He should either be benched or just be told don't come because your performance on Tuesday night was awful.
He'll still start. Ollie loves him. He'll start.
One way or another, he will start him because he think there is an element of Martial's game that does help United in the long run over 90 minutes. But if he doesn't start, I want to see Cavani because it means there's a different outlet for Arsenal to worry about, particularly because Cavani is a very good goal scorer against Arsenal. He's done it before on 3 separate occasions. So this for him wouldn't be too difficult. I think if we start him, he'll find space in ways that Martial can't, especially against a team that will not sit low. They will go for it, and it will make it easier for us to exploit space in behind. So what are you guys thinking about Saturday? I am hoping that there's some optimism towards it despite tonight's result.
We need to do a lot better than we did today. Got to change the whole mentality. It's got to be a better performance. I want to see Shaw back in. I think I want to see Fred playing, Cavani. I don't want to see Martial. So we need to the mentality definitely needs to be better against Arsenal, or we'll just lose again. If we play what we did today, we're going to lose. So from minute 1, we need to be on it because we can't afford to lose any more games. And losing to Arsenal is the worst. So we can't afford to lose in the game. We just need to put this result to the back of our minds and just think we got another game in a couple of days. Let's pull it right, get the win, and then that game will be forgotten about. But it's not going to be easy.
No, Maddie, how about you?
Yeah, we have to win. This bragging rights for the fans and for the players. It's a bit to have a bit of pride after losing against Sheffield United. You have to bounce back for the players,
of course,
for the confidence, for everything. We have to beat Arsenal. I don't want to draw. I don't want to lose. We have to beat them. And if there's any hope of maybe a challenge for the title, I think we have to win. We can't drop points again because if City win their game in hand, that's a 4-point gap, and I don't think Pep will drop that many more points for the rest of the season. He's got his team in form again, and De Bruyne is out, but once he's back, I don't think they'll lose a game.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are not fallible. They're not a team that casually lose. I think they've had their blip earlier in the season with the 2 or 3 defeats they picked up to Spurs and to Leicester. I think it was Leicester as well. The 5-1 they had. They drew with Liverpool at the Etihad. I think they've had their blips. It's probably with the run of games as well they're getting now against those sides that are in and around the mid-table area of the league. This will probably suit them best to have the advantage stepping in their way. And I mean, look, it's faint. Our hopes will even consider being title contenders. For me, I've debunked it. I don't want to think about it because it means that we're not a team. It makes us think we're better than we are already, which I don't think is correct. We're not anywhere near a title contending team. We are at least, if we're to be a ruthless winning machine, we're at least 2 or 3 top class players away from that. And those top class players have to be consistent week in, week out to be able to give us the results we need and to help us move into like let's say if we're first, we have that slender margin. We wouldn't allow errors like tonight to happen. We need those players stepping up and giving us every chance. But the current team should do the same in order for that to not happen anyway. I don't see a reason. There's no excuses for them tonight. They've let us down completely, every single one of them. Even though we have credited one, we still have to consider them part of the problem. Wan-Bissaka, unfortunately, despite his good performance, he did help. He was part of a losing team. So credit him for the performance, but that's the only bright spot for this evening because we've got to learn.
Can I just say? We've seen Chelsea. Yeah, they just sacked Frank Lampard. They brought people may not want to call him a world class manager, but for me, I think he's not world class, but he's a very good manager, and he's certainly an upgrade on Frank Lampard. For me, if we want to act like a big club, I would have got rid of Oli longer. And I know you want him to stay, and you might not want him to go right now, but I think after the 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, that's a sackable offence for me. You can't lose 6-1 to Tottenham to any team from me, but against a team like that, Tottenham. Like Mourinho, we all know what happened as well with him. But for me, there's a lot of managers right now that we can get. Poch only signed an 18-month contract, and I think he only done that because he knows Man United job is available. That's why he waited so long, because I think he wants that job. There's Eric Ten Hag, there's Nagelsmann. You've got a lot of world-class managers there. Allegri.
There are some quality managers out there. I agree with you though, Mehdi. There was a point in the season, like you, I thought that's it for Oli. The 6-1 was one of those occasions. For me, the absolute pinnacle was last month in the Champions League. Yes, to Leipzig. Because the reason why it was that we'd beaten West Ham a couple of days before, and I thought, okay, their momentum is good, their morale is a little higher. They should have now all their focus on the Leipzig game. We should have wrapped this up long before, but we
should have beaten that Turkish team. We didn't lose that game. We would have won.
We should have beaten Başakşehir here. We didn't, and it was that which led us on to the finish we would have, knowing the next two against PSG and Leipzig, we wouldn't be so low.
Needed 1 point from 2 games. 1 point, and we couldn't even get that.
Oli set us up to win against PSG. He didn't get the win because ultimately, when we took a risk and lost a man because of a bit of reckless behavior, and Fred made a bit
Martial missed a sitter.
Yeah, Martial missed that 2 sitters. I remember in that game, and he should have packed them away. But anyway, This for me was the point where I think that's it for Oli, because he can keep us unbeaten in the league all he likes, but we qualified for the Champions League on the last day of the season, albeit now we've made it in. We should have looked to have progressed from the group stage at least. Exactly. And if we came up against tough opposition in the last 16, put a shift in, have a go. Exactly. If we didn't get out of it with a win, great.
At least we got out of the group.
Yeah, exactly. We got out of the group. Tough
all
group
last season. All that work last season to just not even get out of the group.
Yeah, wasted. That for me was where I was crossing off. Oli
of course. I thought he was gone. I thought they would sacked him after that game. To be fair,
you know what it is? With our squad, I think there's only 3 world-class players that we have. I think Pogba, Bruno. And Cavani, and De Gea, if you want to count that as 4.
Yeah,
I think
on his day,
top managers, they turn average players or squad players that, for me, McTominay is a squad player. So players like that, they'll turn them into better players. They'll develop them. For me, Oli's too naive. You see Bruno today, the amount of balls that he was overhand or underhand, you get away with that. And for me, Oli, I don't know, obviously we're not in the changing room, so we don't know what he's saying, but at some point, he's got to say, you got to keep the ball. Like, his decision-making is shocking. If you see a manager like Pep or Poch, someone like that, they'll tell him what to do. They'll
even bring him off. They'll have other players on the bench. Like if we had like a Grealish, for example, quality players, like different players. If Bruno wasn't playing well, you could always bring him off. We can't bring Bruno off because we haven't got. If you look at our bench, if Bruno and Pogba are both playing, who have we got on the bench to bring on? We ain't got. Mata's not it anymore. Dan James. We ain't got no other midfielders with that quality. If we had the Grealish or someone quality like that, at least you could rotate.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think we have problems. Again, I said it before. I will back the manager to the hill, but he will come under criticism for decisions or mistakes that he makes, which should be avoided. And he should have avoided going out of the Champions League, which was almost as sackable as losing 6-1 to Tottenham. He should have sorted numerous problems out sooner. But he should have also coincided our good league form with something for us to play for in Europe, rather than us sit here now and wait for a Thursday night in the Basque region, which unfortunately is the case. We can only fight for the competitions we're in. And if we're taking the league seriously, I understand sacking the Europa League off to do that. But I also think we should compete for whatever we can, because as a club, we must not be shy. We must not treat any trophy as Tim Pot. We have to act as if it means everything. And we've treated it like such before, the FA Cup as well.
I think Oli needs to win a trophy this season.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think it'll be gone. If you don't win the trophy, I think it'll be gone. Even if we get top 4, I still think it'll be gone if you don't win the FA Cup.
If we get top 4 with no trophy, for me, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of Man United fans have lowered their standards. But
I'm like you. I'm not Oli. I'm not that much of an Oli fan.
I can't go. Really, it's been 3 years now without.
Mourinho was the last one to win something.
Exactly. And we criticise him for the philosophy and the style.
He still won a couple of trophies.
he still won 2 trophies with us.
We're Man United.
If Oli doesn't win a trophy, then I think he's got to go. For me, I would have sacked him a long time ago. But we're forgetting the real problem as well. The owners, I've seen that their NFL team or whatever it is over there.
They made it to the Super Bowl on Sunday, winning against the Packers.
Apparently, the Sancho money that they didn't want to spend, they're going to spend on to increase their stadium and expand that. That's
thing is. They've got two events.
They've
got 2 events this year. Tampa Bay are playing at home practically in the Super Bowl, and they've got this WrestleMania event as well, which will bring in money as well to the Glazers who run the stadium and own the Buccaneers. If they win the Super Bowl, I don't expect United to make a lot of signings this summer because a lot of the money will go to trying to keep not only their star quarterback and it's pretty much. Yeah, that's it, unfortunately. And the harsh reality is, and man, you are very much right, which we've talked, I think, as fans, we've covered this matter 100,000 times, I think, almost too many to even count, is that the board just are not able to be clear or, coherent with us about what their plan is and what they want to do with Manchester United. They always
the clown, man. Get Woodward out as well, man.
Exactly. Woodward's the rest there.
The thing that we do as fans, we tweet Glazers out, Woodward out. It gets trending on Twitter, but it doesn't make a difference. If you want to make a proper difference, stop buying merchandise from the club, stop buying shirts, stop buying whatever from the club. Go get something fake. I don't care because this money is going into their pockets. So the less revenue we make, obviously we're a big club, so people aren't going to stop buying tickets and watching when COVID's over. So we can't really stop that, but once COVID's over, we can protest. We can do a lot of things to get these men out because they don't.
They need to be out, man. They need to be out of the club.
I guarantee they didn't even know we had a match today. When was the
probably
last
not.
time them come to a match?
They never come
to a long time ago.
Years ago, probably years since they last attended the match.
Dear oh dear.
The funny thing is, I DM'd one of their daughters on Instagram, and I was like, please, I was like, I found their Instagram. I was like, please tell your parents to sell the club. They don't care about us. Please tell them. And I got blocked.
It's clear to see that the agenda goes more than just within the boardroom. It means that siblings or young ones can't even respond to messages from fans. It is a right old mess. They
don't share the passion that we do. They grew up in America watching their NFL, baseball, whatever they want to watch.
They're not football
fans. They don't know about football. They call it soccer. They don't care about us. I guarantee they didn't know that we had a match today. And it's just, what can we do? We're really powerless unless we want to protest, do stuff like that.
Yeah,
people have been protesting for years, though, haven't they, of the Glazers?
Yes.
How do we get them out?
How do we get them out? Well, we pray to the gods first and then say, is there someone out there with $4 billion who can take us out of this absolute disgusting situation? That would be great.
The Amazon owner, Jeff Bezos.
Bezos must.
That can afford it. Saudis, they can afford it, but it's just...
Yeah, man.
That's sports washing now, unfortunately, which is the trouble. There's that, human rights thing, which we had this season before last, I think it was, when the rumors started to creep up about the Saudis possibly thinking about going into sports and maybe taking over a team. They nearly took over Newcastle United, and that fell through last minute. Under any reason why, we have no idea. Maybe for fairness and everything like that. But if they take it over Newcastle, that team now, not exactly right now, but maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the line, would be in the top 4. I think that team would have had that happened, would have been a top 4 team and would have been raking in chance trophies probably, or getting more, let's say, more good football people in and taking Newcastle up a level, because that's a big club over there as well. And they really are, lacking success at the moment. They're constantly going out of competitions, which is very surprising. Every time they get to the third round, fourth round, they seem to get knocked out. And I feel like they need a trophy because they're missing that winning feeling, and there's something that's missing with them. I feel like they'll get back there soon, But had they had that investment, they would have been stepping up. So something like that, which would happen to United, would mean rival fans would use the excuse we're buying the league, they're trying to use that cheap money or whatever to sort out their finances and debt and all that. In reality, the current owners, it's true they don't care about the club, but that's who they are, unfortunately. And I hate to say that. We could do what we can to get them out. I think it's the first time we've covered this matter, but at this point, it's very difficult to see United being sold to anyone else unless there's a serious intention, and I mean for footballing reasons, not financial.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless there's a serious intention for football reasons that someone wants to take this club to the next level and back to where we feel we belong.
I think the only way they will sell is if the revenue of the club as a whole go down. I think that's what.
Yeah, you raised the point on merchandise and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's very hard. I think there's nothing's impossible. As I like to say, nothing's impossible. It's a tough task to ask the best part of about 400 million people to stop buying Manchester United.
So many people.
So many people. Very tricky. It is not easy.
Go on my fake. Go buy it from a fake store.
The merchant on the fake store would probably serve you better than going to the Adidas shop or whatever, or the official mega store. Anything to help stop United making, the owners making any real progress. I understand the reasons. I don't like the Glazers. I detest them because I was around when they were being taken over, and when United were taken over, and I thought this was the wrong move because it meant this now means we can't be a football club. We practically become a business model
we're run like a business. That's the thing.
Yeah. It's not about football anymore. It's not like on the Fergie days. That was just football. Now it's not. No, we don't care about the football anymore. It's all about money.
Yeah, man. It's a shame, but that's unfortunately how it is. And I want nothing more than them gone. But the first thing, in order for that to happen, someone serious to come in. And say to them, I want this club. I want to take them back to where they belong. And I want nothing more than to just give you money for you to just take it and get out. Spend it on what you want, but just don't spend it here. Get out. That's all I would love to hear. That would be amazing. But we'd have to go really far down for that to happen. And I don't know the current situation, albeit so positive, and it's annoying we've lost tonight, which is probably leading to this reaction on the ownership and the manager as always. I understand that. It happens all the time. It's still something we can, we have to reflect on time after time that, one night can be a bad one. You just have to hope the next one is better. And, maybe there is a knight in shining armor out there who will get us back to where we belong one day. Whether it's a manager or an owner, I don't know. But right now, the only thing I can say is that for me, I know you guys are the opposite, but for me, I'm sticking with him until the day comes when he goes. And when he does go, we'll see what happens. But he's the manager now, and he's got to fix the problem we have at this present moment. I normally praise him for the decisions he makes. He does get certain things right, but when he does get it wrong, he is to be criticized. And tonight he has to be criticized for not getting the result we needed to get above Man City. And it will definitely be very hard for people's opinions to sway in the positive if we cannot continue the good run we've been on since we lost to Arsenal last time. So I don't know what else I can say at this point. Is there? We said Wan-Bissaka probably played best. We can't give him man of the match. We'll just say he was all right in the bad team.
Yeah.
There's no real man of the match tonight.
There's no match. None at all. Not one player could say that actually stood out for the whole match. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with that at all. I mean, maybe Cavani when he came on, but other than that, it was moot. So we'll quickly look to Saturday one more time.
Yeah.
Arsenal are running high, 5 wins in 6. They're moving up the table now from where they were at the start of the season. We're probably we've already talked about who should play and all that, but we're probably good for them. We're probably going to see Aubameyang return. We're probably going to see a different Odegaard just signed for them today, so he may
play.
He might get a game as well. He may also use the info that he's picked up against us for Arsenal to dish it to Sociedad, because I'm sure, having played for them last season, they would love the info. There's a lot of interesting topics that will creep up about this game, but for me, the one that matters is United must get the win, not a draw or anything less, because this match now has double the bearing as it should have after what happened tonight. So you guys tell me what you hope to see on Saturday in terms of like a result and in some ways a performance.
Well, the performance needs to be a lot better than today. Like I said, I don't care what the score is. I don't care if it's an own goal, scrappy goal. We just need to win. It doesn't matter how we win, but we need to perform a lot better. Because like I said, if we play like we did today, we're not going to win the game. We're going to lose. So every player needs to be confident, up for it from the first minute. Need to show some passion, because that was missing today. So, but we just have to win the game. Put it that way.
Yeah. We have to win. I can't afford a loss, because right now I'm getting bantered by every fan. I'm getting bantered by Sheffield United fans. These fans are going to get relegated, and they're DMing you. Like, who are Sheffield United? Let's be real. I can't afford a loss to Arsenal, because there's so many men waiting to text me. Like,
I know too many Arsenal fans, boy.
Yeah, I live with two of them. One of them's my dad. It's not going to be a nice evening if we lose to them.
I've got three brothers that are Arsenal fans, so if we lose the game,
we can't lose. I'm getting bullied right now by Sheffield United fans.
Yeah.
I understand the
They're
feeling.
getting relegated, and they're there, my DMs.
Arsenal fans are bantering me, and Chelsea fans, but you guys, you can't talk right now.
You guys are in just as bad a problem as us. So you think you have it hard? You ain't been in our shoes, because we may be where we are right now, but we're not there because we're the best team in the land. Now we've done it because we've worked hard to get there. At the same time, though, we do have problems, but it's not to say you guys don't have problems too.
They got more problems, even more.
Arsenal don't know whether to sack a manager or sign. Was it Phil Barsley, or Chelsea are chopping and changing between managers like it's nobody's business. He's just happy to say, I don't like this guy, bring another guy in. The Russian geezer over there is having a midlife crisis, I think. I don't know why.
For me, you talk about Arsenal. For me, Arteta just a Spanish Tony Pulis, but I think he's about tactically. I think he's better than Oli, because you can see he's improved Arsenal's defensive shape. Like, you can see it's going to be tough, like getting past that. And obviously, you struggled today against Sheffield United, but I don't.
And last time their midfield destroyed us as well. Partey and Xhaka, their midfield outran us last time. So we need to do better in midfield. That's where it was lost last time. So we need to come better.
That's the thing. When you have a, I wouldn't say Arteta's world class, because he's not. But when you have a good tactical coach that can, and you see our coaching staff, like we're hiring Darren Fletcher. No disrespect to him, but what has he done? Let's be real. Like, he's got his badges. If I go and do all my badges, will Man United hire me? Let's be real now. Like, it's a joke. What other club is doing this? I don't want to go on a rant here.
We're bringing all the old players. So bring all the old players back.
All the old players are coming back. They've brought in Keane, Scott, and Giggs to talk to them a while back.
Scholes will be back soon.
Scholes will probably be there to give him a lecture.
The worst thing is, if we sack Oli, I guarantee we'll probably bring in Wayne Rooney.
I hope not. That would be very dumb.
Another former player. A surprise.
That'd be very dumb.
Oh, no.
If they do that, we're finished. If Rooney comes as manager, might as well just say we're coming mid-table or something. Because you can't leave us in
we're bad in some ways, but we're not that bad.
No, we're not that bad.
We're not Arsenal. We're not Arsenal levels yet.
We're not Arsenal.
No.
And I hope we don't ever get to that.
Never. We should never think in that way. I hope not, because
never.
That era is a bygone era when United were considered mid-table fodder, and like I said, we were once a cup team. We just used to do well in cup competitions and never focus on the league,
like Arsenal
do now.
FA
They're
Cup
just Blackburn
merchants. FA
Rovers
Cup
with
merchants.
FA Cup, fam. That's what they are.
Exactly.
That's what they are.
Exactly.
I'm talking a lot here, yeah. So the players
The
have
players
to
better
back
show
it
up.
right now.
They better
They
show
have
up.
to show up.
Listen, Saturday's a massive game, and I don't
If we
mean it in.
lose, I'm
Oh,
ghosting for a while. I'm ghosting for a long time. If we
If
lose that game.
Saturday's a massive game for Manchester United. Look, lads, I like you guys. I think we have to get a result, a win, most important, because anything but is asking for trouble. And I don't want to imagine what I don't want to imagine. Look, we've been through it once this season. Once is once enough. Any more than that, we are looking at.
Because if we lose, other teams win. Could they go ahead of us? If
At the
other teams
moment,
win,
the table
No,
currently says.
there's no
I'll
one
just
else
have
close.
I'll just have a look at it for you, just to get a clearer
Leicester
indication. Leicester could do it. They would have to win on. They would have to win. They picked up a point tonight. Their game is on Sunday at home to Leeds, whereas Liverpool are away to West Ham. That's fourth versus fifth. If
West
Liverpool
Ham are
don't
good
win,
right now. West Ham are a good team, actually.
and we play them in the FA Cup as well. So that's a tough.
That'll be a difficult game.
Absolutely.
Wait, so only Leicester can overtake us.
Only Leicester can overtake us.
Oh,
West
that's
Ham
not
can close the gap on us, but only Leicester can pass us. And the next
Still
game
can't lose. Still can't lose, regardless.
We can't
Still
lose. The
again.
bragging rights for the fans.
Yeah, we
Bragging
play
rights,
before them too. We play before them as well, so that adds more pressure on us to
win.
not lose that, to win that game. So
Exactly.
must win on Saturday. I'm hoping it goes well. Been a pleasure, gentlemen, sharing the frustrations and the sad times with you for once. I'm hoping this is the last time that we have to deal with these negative sort of reviews.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
exactly.
if it happens in the Europa League, it's understandable. I prefer winning that, but it's understandable anyway.
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys coming on. Really good.
Thank you very much.
All of you, all of you that's watched with us, hit the like button, subscribe if you can. On Twitter, follow us and share as well. And follow Kai and Mehdi on Twitter. I will stick there in the description somewhere, I hope. But yeah, lads, take it easy, and I'll see everyone with you soon. Take it easy, bye.